This is definitely a map 1, but it's still a fun little level. This WOD, I started playing it. I'm really enjoying the first several maps. So I decided, to record commentary videos on a few of them. I definitely won't be doing the entire WOD because, it's a community slaughter WOD, so guaranteed it's going to have some crappy maps here and there. I don't know. And also, it's very likely that by the third episode it's gotten to, completely ridiculous slogs with 5-digit monster counts. No one needs that. I mean, I guess people like that. I don't know how they have the patience. But this map's nice. I mean, pretty straightforward stuff so far. Frankly, there's nothing about this map that you'd, check that out. Completely unable to dodge shots from. Or, Hellknights all coming in the same direction. Really cool. Nothing in this level that you'd really, associate with the term Slaughterfest. But again, it's a map 1. I guess the final fight could be, considered pretty slaughtery, but it just lets you back right out. Well, the cyber demons do all the work for you, and then there's this other, I don't know. This setup I really like. It's just fun to splash a million imps with a rocket launcher. And the two-sidedness makes it so you at least, it's not like you're not falling asleep doing it. You gotta keep turning around. I like that. I think that's just fun. Even if it's not exactly strenuous. So you can go either the one way for the yellow key or the other way for the red key, and it doesn't matter which order you do it in, really. This room's kind of mad. Actually, this map has somewhat this. The first map of Slaughterfest 3 was clearly based on this map. I don't know if the first map of Slaughterfest 2011 also looks like this, and it's a meme, or they just decided to do that or whatever. I didn't even notice the similarity really until this, which is like exactly the same, and it gave me weird feelings of deja vu until I remembered, oh yeah, this is just the same as. I don't know why they chose to leave this part of all parts completely intact. This was kind of lame, honestly. Barons on one side, Revenants on the other, and not so many of them that you can't just circle strafe right from the start. I don't know. It feels like this feels like the cleanup phase of a good encounter. Like we skipped the good part, got right to the trivial part. I don't know. I mean, I don't think everything has to be hard, but I don't know. It's kind of tedious. I mean, I could have been more aggressive with it, but there's a couple parts later on where, some archvile encounters, where with archviles it takes a variable number of rockets, right, depending on how many times you miss the Weasley little bastards, so you don't want to have too few. I don't come close to running out here, but I certainly wouldn't want to. That one's easy. There's another one that's a little more high pressure. It kind of feels more like a good, honest dungeon crawly Doom kind of map, except without being confusing. I don't mind that. Confident he'd die there. So the next major encounter is kind of interesting. It doesn't seem like that much, but the first time I got there I died pretty decisively, pretty fast. It's a question of killing the Arachnotrons ASAP, because there's no cover here, so their streaming fire is pretty difficult when there's a lot of them. And what complicates it is the Cacto demons coming from behind. And once they get closer than the Arachnotrons, which is pretty soon, they start, fucking up your ability to shoot without shooting up. And so, you know, you can get in a situation where it's almost impossible to kill the damn spiders. So, I mean, quick killing the spiders is kind of a cool setup. But then you have to clean up the cacodemons, who no longer pose any threat whatsoever. I can't object to that, though. I mean, they had a reason for existing. And it's not like it took that long. So next is kind of a straightforward invasion encounter. And one that doesn't really particularly make you stay to fight it out. Switching to plasma rifle in case I have to blast through anything. A cyber demon shows up and it's like, oh, this shit's real now. It'd be pretty annoying to try to UV max it, I guess, just because you'd end up spending quite a few cells on the cyber demon. Probably all of them are. I guess you could do it with shells, because shells are worthless at this point. But that would be tedious. After a while, that cave opens up and you can just leave. I don't think this would be a map that would be improved by UV maxing, quite the opposite. So the next encounter is also pretty tricky. Straightforward but tricky. There's just two of those guys. Archviles. There's not like universal cover, right? If they get in the middle of the map, there's so you just gotta suppress it. Now here, you definitely want to use the rocket launcher for this. Like you might think, oh, plasma rifle would be more effective. It's not. You want to kill those chain gunners fast. Minor mistake to not grab those cells on the other end of the room before flipping the switch, but whatever. Now this is, I think it's weird, like, so the columns blocking the exit drop away, and these guys all show up. But like, why does the door open then? Like, why not put in a timer and have the door open, like, you know, 60 seconds later, so that I have to, you know, kill the revenants or kill most of the revenants, not just completely skip the fight. I don't know. I mean, you put all the trouble to place all those revenants, but you didn't do anything to make me kill them. I always say it's not my fault. If the designer lets you do it, then it's a valid solution. So here, I mean, you can see it's just a lot of, not really that many Hell Knights, honestly. I mean, 4 cyber demons chew through them pretty quickly, and I'm trying to, you know, wait for good opportunities where they're shooting other people so I can shoot them in the ass safely. Honestly, I could probably afford to just be a little spammy. I've got 600 cells, right? The setup here is that after a while these switches were revealed, and now you can flip them both and open the exit. Almost all the Hell Knights are dead now, so it's like, look at all these narrow misses with rockets. Jeez. So I'm getting sick of it, so I just leave. Killing cyber demons is lame anyway. Who likes doing that? Nobody.